This is my argument supporting a living wage. This argument is based on value theories. That is, how much goods and services are worth. I've seen this touched on several times, mostly phrased as, if an employee produces X dollars, the company will happily pay Y dollars, how much the labor is worth. If you want to argue supply and demand, how much stuff costs, that is in market theory, you need to look at my argument supporting minimum wage. Now, for some definitions. Internal costs. Costs of production paid for by the producer. An example is a bakery buying flour. The baker pays 100% of the cost of flour. This is personal risk for personal gain. External costs. A cost of production not paid for by the producer. I tried to think of a business example that is not a hot-button issue, one that would not complicate my argument. I couldn't think of one, so I'll use littering. When you throw trash on the ground, you get the benefit of trash removal, but then someone else needs to come by, pick it up, and then pay for it to be removed again. This is an external cost. External costs are socialized risks for personal gain. The economic argument for a living wage is forcing. Yes, I know forcing's a bad word, but forcing businesses to internalize costs. If a business owner wants to keep the money he makes, he should have to pay the full cost of production. Otherwise, he's not making that money. He's simply taking it. There is no argument that a baker should have to pay full price for flour. He may be able to negotiate a bulk discount, but there are not voluntary charitable organizations that help bakers afford flour. The baker has this as an internal cost. He is risking his money for potential personal gain. Since there are voluntary charitable organizations that help people, that baker now has the option of not paying full price for labor and letting the charities pick up the tab for him. This is an external cost. The people donating to that charity are in effect paying part of the wages for the baker. In this case, he is spending their money so he can have personal gains. Allowing external costs will disrupt markets since it allows the producer to overproduce with profits. A flour subsidy is a bad idea. A labor subsidy is a bad idea. Now, I don't believe in socialism. I believe even less in corporate socialism. Allowing companies to pay less than a living wage is corporate socialism. It allows them to externalize costs, putting the burden of paying for their labor on society. Socialism. On a closing note, I'll try and simplify my argument. I want to start a business. Here's the hourly breakdown of 3 of my costs. Which one are you willing to pay for me, in part or whole, so that I can make a profit? Does it really matter which one is labor? Even if you knew which one was labor, are you willing to pay my employees so I can make a profit?